Well, hello, kids. It's your best friend, Globey. I'm so happy you joined me in my clubhouse today for another Care and Share. Okay, kids, who wants to go first to show how they helped the planet this week? I do. Oh, it brings me so much joy to see you all so excited to share. How about we start with you, little fella? Tell everyone your name and what you did this week to help save the planet.
My name is Scotty Deltry, and on Tuesday, I recycled my milk carton at lunch.
Oh, very nice, Scotty. Did you rinse out the carton before recycling it?
Well, there wasn't a sink around, so no.
Ah, I see. A common mistake. Well, that's okay, buddy. You can try again next week.
Oh, okay.
Who else would like to share?
I do. Globey, I do. My name is Sally Walter. Last weekend, I went hiking with my family, and we scrubbed our feet on the brushes at the beginning of the hike so we didn't bring in an invasive species.
Oh, very good, Sally. I'm sure that very small action will do a lot of good to save me from burning in flames.
In the next 7 years.
Sorry about that, kids. Climate change is just a little scary.
Wait, okay. Well, also, we went out to eat after the hike, and we ordered veggies on our pizza instead of pepperoni.
Wow, very good, Sally. Okay. Oh, okay.
I have one, Globey, and it's really good.
Oh, thank goodness. Thank you, Stephen. You always have great news to bring to the clubhouse every week. Okay, let's have it.
My name is Stephen Riley, and not only did I recycle this week, I walked my containers to the bathroom and rinsed out all of them. But I also picketed at the White House on Earth Day on Thursday.
Well, very good, Stephen.
What's wrong, Globey? Isn't that helpful?
Well, sort of. It's nothing, it's fine, but... Okay, who's next?
No, Globey, please. What can I do better?
It's just, the picketing group at the White House this year left over 165 pieces of litter in the park.
And that's over 165 tears shed by Globey.
Oh, no.
And Stephen, please tell me you didn't use wood and paper to make your picket sign. Stephen, no! Don't you see what you're doing to me?
Whoa, Globey! Hey, what's going on, bud? Deep breath, in and out, yeah. Hey, kids, look over here!
I'm wearing a silly hat today.
Let's sing our favorite song with Globey!
I love Earth, I can't breathe. Greenhouse gases are killing me. But if I clean up and do my part,
and if I'm not careless with
single-use plastics and I prioritize reducing and reusing over recycling, and if we pass laws to protect the relatively small but vital portions of our planet from commercialization, and we plant one fucking tree every once in a while, and if you convince your goddamn parents to stop shopping at Amazon.
Oh, goodness. Okay, who has something great to share for the show today? There's gotta be someone who did their part this week.
I think maybe I do, Mr. Globey.
Oh, thank goodness. Margot Gillman, please tell us what you did. Please.
I planted the tree.
Did you buy it?
Yes, we bought it locally from a black and queer-owned nursery.
And did you use compost and organic?
Yep, our personal compost and peat moss mixture.
Okay, great. Yes, that's great. Oh my goodness, you silly kids sure had me worried.
And we're clear. Take 5, everybody.
It didn't used to be this hard. I need a drink.
Okay, Margot, let's go.
Okay, Mommy. Can we get ice cream now?
We sure can.
Oh, hello. Are you Margot's mom?
Why, yes. Isn't she just perfect?
Haha, yes. And today she saved the day, the show, and the planet.
That's my girl. Okay, sweetie, hop in the car and we'll go celebrate.
Oh no.
Hey, is everything okay, Globey? You don't look so good.
You drive a gas car?
Yes, I'm so sorry, Globey. It's the best we could afford.
Globey, hey, You're getting really red again. Are you...
What? The... You're listening to the Weekly Quarterly Report, the podcast where we report everything that has happened this past week and this current quarter. I'm Steve Drywater.
And I'm Sunny Walls. A small town in Kentucky is trying to boost tourism by using a laser beam to write a message into space saying, "Welcome, aliens." In a monumental twist, the aliens responded with their own beam that said, "Pass."
The Guinness Book of World Records is scheduled to verify a Portuguese Schnauzer as the world's oldest living dog, not to be confused with the world's oldest dirty dog, which was recently awarded to Rudy Giuliani.
All this and more after the break.
Do you hear that? That's the sound of a Saturday morning, just after the sun rises and right before the kids start stirring. The sound of peace, prosperity, and a reminder that the best is yet to come. Oh, and it's the sound of grade A, grass-fed Jimmy Freedom bacon. Pork bacon, like Dad used to butcher. And unlike those liberal brands, Jimmy Freedom isn't afraid to say, so what? Meat is murder, and that's the way it should be. Jimmy Freedom is the only breakfast brand that will tell you how it is. And nothing goes better with bacon than our farm fresh eggs. Jimmy Freedom eggs are the only nutrient-rich eggs that protect your brain from 5G tower frequencies. Chock full of fortified proteins, they'll calcify your brain in a good way, or our name isn't James America Freedom. We aren't ashamed of that name. Our name represents truth, hard truth. We aren't afraid to tell you that our breakfast will make you happy. We aren't afraid to say that our food is mostly made from American biomatter. And we aren't afraid to tell you that chimpanzees are evolving to replace you. They may have already stolen your country, but don't let them steal your breakfast. Don't let the socialists win. When you think freedom, think Jimmy Freedom. A good American breakfast.
The Proud Boys are in town.
Last weekend, a local chapter of the extremist group hosted a rally at a Lakeview bar. The event was not only unexpected, but also unwelcome.
Not only does WQR's Jan Jansen have the details, but she also has a little insight into what went down.
Not only are you right, Sonny, but you are also correct.
Things did not go according to plan for the far-right militant organization, as their scheduled rally became something completely unexpected. Proud Boys member and event organizer Mike Bumpass explains what happened.
Yeah, I was in charge of organizing our Chicago rally. Originally, I called it Take Back America Palooza. I knew it needed a shorter name than that, so I called it Proud Night, a night for Proud Boys. So I started Googling and I found this place called Sidetrack. They had booze. Plus, it's called Sidetrack, which reminded me of trains. And nothing is more masculine than a hot, pulsating...
And now it's time for Dick Van Dyke News.
It's Dick Van Dyke News. There he goes. Somebody grab him. Excuse me, you there. Also running after Dick Van Dyke. How did he escape?
We're here at the corner of 18th and Jackson, and we've received word that Dick Van Dyke is just a block or two away. Oh, there he goes!
Just as an aside, I really don't think Dick Van Dyke should be doing this at his age. He's provided years of entertainment and really has nothing to prove at this point. It's just so... hold on, he's turning around. I repeat, Dick Van Dyke is turning around and... Oh my God, what is he doing?
He's heading our way. Turn back.
He really shouldn't be doing this at his age.
Oh my God, there are 4 other Dick Van Dykes.
Gaining on us.
The only way we're going to get out of this is if we hop in our tanks and steamroll these Dick Van Dykes down.
Absolutely not. This is Dick Van Dyke News. Not, hey everyone, Dick Van Dyke multiplied himself and let's just run them over with the tank news. It's never been what this show is about, and it's not going to be about that now.
You idiot! If we don't stop these Dick Van Dykes, who knows what will happen?
Yeah, like 5 Dick Van Dykes. We make it 5 Dick Van Dykes.
Fine. Let's just cut to an old episode in 5, 4, 3, 2...
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Dick Van Dyke News. Today, Dick Van Dyke will be telling us about his trip to Florida and the exotic salts he brought back. But first, here's Sam with the Dick Van Dyke weather. Sam?
Thank you, and a good Dick Van Dyke afternoon to you. It's gonna be Dick Van Dyke mild with a chance of a few Dick Van Dyke clouds. Should be a nice one.
Thank you, Sam. We'll be back with more Dick Van Dyke after this commercial break.
Welcome to Fear of Mint Jelly, the show where we force people into situations where they have to face their biggest fear: cool, fresh preserves straight from the woodlands of Constantinople. Let's get into it. Meet Sherry. Sherry's had a fear of mint jelly for over 25 years. Let's hear her story.
My name is Sherry Billings. I'm from Dallas, Texas, and I've been afraid of mint jelly ever since I was a little girl.
Mint jelly.
I just remember my mother beating my father to death with a rack of lamb, which was smothered in mint jelly. It was my father's favorite condiment, and he loved to smother it all over his rack of lamb.
Mint jelly.
And my mom, she was off her meds. She took medication for her mood swings, and I think she had run out earlier that day. So she took the rack of lamb out of the oven and hit my father over the head with it, over and over and over and over and over.
Mint jelly.
And over and over and over and over again until he was dead and bleeding and covered in mint jelly, just as the rack of lamb had been.
Welcome to the show, Sherry.
Good evening. You're not gonna make me eat mint jelly, are you?
No way. Sherry, just for being on our show, we're giving you and a guest a free meal at Mouthful of London.
Oh, delightful. No mint jelly though, right?
No way, Jose.
I don't eat British cuisine very often, but I'm very excited, thank you.
Folks, that's what we do here on Fear of Mint Jelly. We make dreams come true.
We followed Sherry and her guest to Mouthful of London. What Sherry doesn't know is that mint jelly is the special of the day.
All right, welcome to Mouthful of London. I'm Alistair. I'll be your server. Can I get you a couple of waters while you wait?
Yes, please.
Great, thank you.
I'll return shortly.
Sherry thinks Alistair is just going to grab 2 glasses of water. But what Sherry doesn't know is that those 2 glasses of water will have an extra special ingredient. You know what it is. It's mint jelly.
So while the pay isn't great, they put the word executive in my title, so now I'm the executive.
Make it happen, Queen.
All right, here we are, 2 waters, and just kidding, mint jelly, motherfucker. Got you good.
No! You've killed her dead.
All right, let's give it up for Sherry, folks. We're sitting here with Sherry, who was just picked up from urgent care by our PA, Butch. Sherry, tell us what went through your head when you saw the 2 glasses of water were actually 2 bowls of mint jelly, each with a tiny piece of paper on a toothpick that read, "It's mint jelly time, boss."
Okay, well, at first I was really excited for the water because I have a condition where if I don't drink water every 12 minutes, my forehead grows a rash that spells out the word cremoso.
Yes, we can see that.
But when I saw it was 2 very, very large bowls of mint jelly, I almost died, and then I did die, and then I was resuscitated by Butch, and now Butch and I are engaged.
Ah, and that's what we're all about here at Fear of Mint Jelly. Tune in next week, everybody. We have Gustav, who was waterboarded with mint jelly by his stepfather in an old Victorian castle. You won't want to miss it. Take care.
Our history defines us and provides a guide to our future. Understanding one's heritage is critical to understanding oneself. Today, I sit with another guest to explore their ancestry and see what discoveries the incredible science of genealogy has in store. I'm Benjamin Franklin Gates Jr., and this is Touching Your Roots.
Touching Your Roots.
I'm joined today by an actor you've probably seen in That One Thing. He kind of reminds you of that one guy, but when you look him up on IMDb, it was actually Stanley Tucci. Today, I met with Tommy Toledo to discover a little more about who he is, and more importantly, who he was. Tommy Toledo, what is it you're hoping to find today?
Well, I'm kinda hoping I find that I'm related to someone famous, So people will actually remember who I am?
Good news for you, Tommy. Just about everyone is related to someone famous. And today, you are no exception. Shall we look at your mother's side of the family?
Yeah, that sounds great, sure.
Well, as you might know, your mother's family hails from Central Europe, specifically the southern Bavarian region of Germany. In fact, your real name is Thomas Tunschlinger.
Whoa, didn't know that. JK, I totally did. That was acting.
Now, take a look at this picture of your grandmother, Franz.
Boring. I know my grandma, and she wasn't famous. Show me someone famous.
But her story's remarkable.
Give me famous.
Yes, very well. See here, this is your great-great-grandfather, Heinrich Tunschlinger. As you can see in this photograph.
Whoa, is he with Albert Einstein?
Indeed.
Well, he must have been famous then.
Actually, no. While he closely worked with Albert through the 1920s, he was actually Einstein's pool cleaner.
What?
Pool cleaner. He cleaned pools for a living.
Shit. Pass. Who's next?
Oh, okay. Here's your mother's great-great-great-great-great-grandmother, Heidi Hans Tunschlinger Schnitzelfrau, pictured with Queen Victoria and Abraham Lincoln.
Whoa, I know those names. She must have been like so famous, right?
Unfortunately not. You see, Heidi actually worked in Abraham Lincoln and Queen Victoria's secret love garden.
So she was like a famous gardener, huh?
Well, no. She was the gardener's assistant. She held the hedge clippers on Wednesdays, if our research is correct.
What a loser. Next, please.
Don't you want to know more about why Lincoln and Queen Victoria had a secret?
No thanks, pal. Show me someone famous. Like George Washington famous or something like that.
Oh, well, you're in luck. On your father's side, one of your ancestors was one George Washington. Thomas Mudscraper, English descent.
Let me guess, she was the...
Scraped mud off the shoes of pool cleaners, yes.
Well, this freaking blows, Ben. It freaking blows. Do you know who I am? I'm the guy that walked next to Vin Diesel in Fast and Furious 8. 8? Ben, not 7 or 6.
I've never seen it.
I'm famous, god damn it. Now, show me someone famous.
Fine. I have here one last relative you might find of interest. Your ancestor, Heinrich Tunschlinger, had a twin brother of great fame and renown.
Really?
Yes. See here in this photograph. Schnitzel Sauce Tunschlinger III.
Schnitzel Sauce was really famous?
Yes.
Really famous?
Yes, really famous. A famous general. And stop crying.
Sorry, I just wanted to feel famous for once. You know, you can't even see my face, but I was the green suit double for Willy in Free Willy.
Oh, I think I've seen that one.
You have? Wow. Oh my god. Look, I really am famous, and so is my ancestor. This is so cool. Who's that groupie standing with?
Those are Nazis.
No!
Oh, and you're also 8th cousins with Stanley Tucci. You two look alike.
No!
You're famous, Timmy!
It's Tommy!
Genetic genealogy is transforming our world. Every day is an opportunity to discover something new about our history. I'm Dr. Benjamin Franklin Gates Jr. Join me next week when I sit down with a real actor. Next time on Touching Your Roots.
Touching your roots.
Thank you for tuning in to this week's edition of the Weekly Quarterly Report. Join us next week as I sit down with the nefarious Neverman, the only documented serial killer who has not committed a crime. Yet.
Plus, if you're still listening, Amy, we will be sitting down with our resident art critic, Francesca Russknuckle, fresh from her trip to Paris.
This has been the Weekly Quarterly Report. I'm Sunny Walls.
And I'm Steve Drywater. Thanks for listening. This episode of the Weekly Quarterly Report was written and performed by
Chris Canty,
Steve Drywater,
Joshua Gorton,
Alyssa Neese,
and
Tom Vinson,
with additional vocal performances by Xzavier Dean, Haley Gillman, Hasan Jafry, and Sunny Walls. The WQR theme music was arranged by Josh Gorton. The Weekly Quarterly Report is executively produced by me, Steve Drywater, with additional production support by Alyssa Neese. Rate and review us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and wherever you find your podcasts. And check out our website at weeklyquarterlyreport.com. Again, that's weeklyquarterlyreport.com. Join us next Monday for next week's coverage of this past quarter.